What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got something pretty good, man. We got a sister pretty much trying to tell us, right? She's sitting here trying to tell us why she would not allow a man to babysit her kids, why she could never put a man over her kids, right? Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of women feel this way. At least for the ones, man, that are single mothers, right? A lot of them feel that way. Now, for the ones, man, that tend to be the ones that tend to have kids with the very man that they're still with, you don't ever really hear that rhetoric come from their mouth. Why? Because they have an understanding that, hey, this is the man that gave me children, right? Now technically kids do come before the parents, right? Or at least the kids' needs, comes before the parents, right? When you end up having children at a very young age, what do they say? It's not about you anymore, right? It's not about y'all anymore. It's about the child, right? You're going to have to put the child's needs over yours, right? So technically, yes, right? But when we're talking about in aspects of, once again, when you're just looking at a family dynamic, you're never going to really hear women say that. You don't ever hear women say that because they just know the hierarchy: man, mother, then kids. Now, of course, we take care of the kids. They are the top priority. But if the man isn't taken care of, if the man is not taken care of, right, there's no way he can take care of the household, right? Now, see, a lot of women like to say happy wife, happy life. It doesn't work that way, right? It does not work that way. If you sit over here, massage your woman's feet, you sit over here, man, and you pretty much essentially simp out, because that's what that really means, right? You simp out, you do whatever, what it takes to make that woman happy. What value does she add? What has she done, right? Happy wife, happy life. But once again, who makes the house function? It's the man. So of course the man has to be taken care of. The man is number one. Now, somebody else can also look at it as what she is saying is facts. And once again, towards the end, I definitely agree with her, right? For the most part, I agree with her, right? I don't really think she is wrong. But like I said, for the most part, you only hear rhetoric coming from women who are single mothers, right? Coming from women who are like this. Let's just go ahead and jump into the video and y'all will see what I mean.
I'm not going to put no man over my kids. I would not put no man over my kids. But you want that man that bad? I have a problem with women letting the men babysit their kids. I've never been the type to let men in and out of my home. I got a problem with that.
A mother who marries a stepfather is normally going to be in doubt or in disbelief about the stepfather doing something to her child. I've seen it happen many times where they're like, no, my man is.
They take
stop lying on him. You just.
And that's crazy to me.
And I'm like, that's just.
That's crazy. I would never. Nah.
Now, once again, to their point, and the guy he brought up a good point that a lot of times, you hear you see situations. They even have him, of course, Tyler Perry. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe that is Tyler Perry's movie. But you have a guy, if I'm not mistaken, his name is Clifton Powell, right? Where you have this young girl who was pretty much traumatized when she was younger because the man that her mother was dating did something to her, right? So she tried to tell her. She tried to tell the daughter, she tried to tell the mother, hey, this is what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened. And the mother gaslit her and pretty much made her feel guilty for even saying that and saying, hey, that's not true, right? What are you even talking about, right? If I can put a clip up here, I definitely will. But once again, that goes to his point, right? And you cannot disagree with that, right? I think anybody cannot disagree with that. You have to be very careful. Here's the disconnect that I think a lot of people end up running into, where this is understandable if you're talking about at the beginning of the relationship. I think that we tend to, I think that we find the issue, or we run into issues when we keep bringing this up and we are deep into the relationship. I think once we have already established, right, that, okay, this man has picked up the father role for some months now, right? Okay, now we need to go ahead, right? And he's showing that he wants to be a father to my children. He wants to be this, he wants to be that. He wants to be the father that these kids need. We are going to have to now start treating this man like a man and start treating this man like a father. So going back to my point earlier, where I'm saying that you don't hear women who are still with a man that they have kids by right? If they're married or if they're still in the household, you don't ever hear women saying stuff like that. You don't ever hear women saying stuff like that. It's never a point of topic for them because, once again, they already have the family dynamic. The family dynamic alone tells you man, wife, kids, period. Right now, once again, I get a lot of women gonna look at that. Why the man always got to be above? Because he's the head of the household, right? He takes lead. It doesn't mean that you're beneath us in the sense that, hey man, look, who is she? Who is she to me? She's your wife, right? So she has just as much of an opinion and say so as you do. But the fact that a lot of women just do not understand the roles, they get triggered by stuff like that, and that's why I think that once again we have that disconnect. When we're talking about at the beginning of a relationship, yes, right? Dang sure the stepfather shouldn't be babysitting a child, right? Secondly, man, if you're talking about the beginning of a relationship, of course, right? You shouldn't put the man over. You shouldn't put the man over the children, right? I don't think we'll ever get to that point, but you should not put a man over a children. And I don't think that would ever be the case, really, for a lot of guys who tend to be stepfathers, because once again, you will just always be looked at as a man who just stepped up. That's it. You step out of line, the mother's going to get you up out of there. We had a whole video of a dude who was trying to correct his girlfriend's or whatever, right? Whatever she is to him. He tried to correct her daughter, and she got it, and the mother got on him, straight dusted dusted him, right? Just because he stepped out of line, right? So once again, man, you have these type of issues. If you have a man who is willing to be the man that he needs to be, that he needs to be to those kids, that the kids need. We're going to be technical. The man does come first. So guess what? Food needs to be made. Guess who food's going to be made first? The man's food is going to be made. Then the kids' food is going to be made. And going to my point earlier, that's what I mean by you're just going to have that dynamic of a man will always be open. The man will come before the children in a sense, right? But of course, for the most part, the priorities of a child will always come first. Priorities of a child will always come first. They can't fend themselves. So for the people who feel like, you know what, oh, you are tripping. If you like, you got to be selfish to sit over and think you over the kids. Well, I mean, hey, if I don't function, you're going to have to be the ones to take care of the kids. Then what? Right? Then what? All right. So once again, man get his food first. Man get his clothes clean or whatever. He gets treated like a king. He gets treated like a king. Once again, man, like I said, I can see it on both sides, but for the most part, man comes first, woman, kids needs come first, right? So y'all do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, and leave me a subscribe and tell me what y'all think.